Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the books I read in January quick, so a little January wrap up. This month I read 7 books, and then from start to finish, and then read a portion of 3 books. So I'll talk about the ones that I read all the way through, and then I'll talk about the short story collection I finished, the short story collection I started, and the book I was reading that I got halfway through before February started. So the first book on my list is Six of Crows. I read both the books in the duology, so Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdoms. I really enjoyed them. It was fun seeing how the different characters interacted with each other, and they all had their own little quirks. I liked the characters a lot in this book, in these 2 books. And by the end of the second book, I got attached to all the characters. In the first book, I was only attached to about half of the main characters. I think the epilogue in the second book was not as well done as it could have been. I also wish there was some more reactions to the results of the final battle. But overall, I really liked the plot. That was fun. And things didn't always go as how I was expecting, but it was like I could follow along enough that I could expect something, so that was really fun, the dichotomy of those 2 things. So I really enjoyed that. I actually am going to put up a reading vlog of me reading that, and it'll go up next week. And then next, that's all I'm going to say about those books. I really liked them. Next thing I read was the Folk of the Air books, so those first 3, the trilogy. So The Cruel Prince, Wicked King, and Queen of Nothing. The Cruel Prince and the first half of The Wicked King were a reread for me. I stopped reading them because I was trying not to break the spines the first time I read them. I did this time though. I really enjoyed them. I thought it was fun. The characters were all they're not characters that I normally read, which was fun to experience. I really like how whimsical everything was. Like, everything was whimsical and morbid, which that is exactly my cup of tea. I love whimsical and morbid things. And I thought Jude was quite clever, and she was fun to follow because she's very active, and as the story went on, she just became more and more active, and like she fluctuated a lot between those 2 states too, which was fun. And her relationships with people changed too, and I think it all makes sense, and it was really cool to see the interconnectings and all that. One thing that was kind of interesting was like that I noticed that I didn't actually love was like the first half, like you get through it and be kind of like not necessarily slow, but like slower, and then like so much would happen in the last couple chapters, in which was like it seemed a little off to me, but I really enjoyed it, and I feel like the stories all had good conclusions, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. And that's all I have to say about that one. Next, I read Princess of Mirrors, which is a Cinderella retelling, and it was pretty fun. So like the princess could go in the mirrors. She wasn't a princess, but she could go in the mirrors. This is by A.G. Marshall. I like her retellings a lot. I follow her fairy tale retelling series, and I really enjoyed all the books. This one was interesting because it like started at the same time the first book in the series started, and it's been a while since I've read that book, so I kind of wish I read that book closer to that, but I don't know, like it won't be an issue for you. Well, it might, but I think a lot of the things I could see her, like I knew what it was from the other book, and she was just doing it. I like how the relationship with the princess and the prince ended at the end. I think it was the perfect balance of them getting closer together and not feeling like she didn't go through the romance side of things, but also her not having it go all the way because they really didn't know each other that well, and I think that made a lot of sense in how it went. I also like that the princess walked around with her shoe for a while. That was funny. That was fun. I really liked that book, and it was a very unique Cinderella retelling too. And I would know, I've read an obnoxious amount of Cinderella retellings, so I would know. Next, I read True Princess, which is like part of this Cursed Kingdom series. I read the Cinderella one a while ago, and then this is actually the first one in the series. Something that is so weird is how often Princess and the Pea retellings are princess competitions. I can think of one that wasn't a princess competition. And even then, she was competing with other princesses. And I read like 5, maybe? That's a lot of that, like, same trope, which is interesting. Actually, I've read 2, but the other one was a short story. So True Princess was alright. So basically her curse is that she gets hurt really easy. Like, she sits on a bed without a pillow, and like her butt sits on the mattress, and she gets hurt because the springs. So she has to sleep with like 3 mattresses and a bunch of pillows, and she's really annoyed about it. And she's like, and she always talks about, I feel like this is really being in her head now that I think about it. She's always saying, I've had to work so hard so that I'm intelligent, and because I'm not strong, and I don't know. And I don't really know. Like, the book was okay. I want to be jumping up and down recommending it. The relationship was cute enough. They seem like they got, like, I like them together. I don't think I'd ever want to reread it. I don't think I'd recommend it. But, I mean, I wouldn't say, oh, don't read the book. It's okay. Okay. Those are all the books I started and finished in January. So let's talk about the short story collections now. So I finished the Paper Mangeree by Kinley Yu. I should have a review for that. If it's not up, I'll put it now. I'll put it up after my Six of Crows video. But I liked that a lot. The prose were beautiful in that book. Like, oh my goodness. You can like flip to any page and it will have something good on it. Well, Fargo is calling me. I don't need to talk to them. And yeah, that was really good. You should watch the video where I talk about it. And then I also started the Office of Historical Corrections, and that'll probably take me a couple months to get through, but you can know that now. And it's very interesting, like, reading that right after Kinley Yu's Paper Mangeree, because Kinley Yu has such beautiful prose, and this one's very direct, and it's a good book, but the difference is crazy. And then I started Slippers and Thorns. I actually finished it now at the time of recording, but it's February, so I didn't finish it in January, and that was fun. It was very different from the books I normally read, which was fun, although I don't think it was the best retelling I've ever read, but hopefully I'll remember everything about it. And next one's wrapped up. Thanks for watching. Bye! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!